All right, David McKinney here from GatewayMMA.com, and we are in with Dustin the Reaper Kempf tonight. We'll be fighting this weekend at Bellator 51 in Canton, taking on Frank Caraballo, and one of the featured local bouts on the undercard of that show. First off, how you doing tonight, Dustin?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing pretty great, man. So I assume that at this point you're probably, wrapping up training a little bit for this fight. Who have you been training with heading into your fight with Caraballo this weekend?
I've been doing a lot of training with Team Instigator and Victory Martial Arts out of Canton, Ohio, and doing a little bit of cross training with Robert Meese from Main Street MMA and Team Impact with Joey Holt and Josh Stansbury as well.
Okay, so I know a few months ago the NAAFS announced that you had signed a professional exclusive contract with them. How does your fight on Bellator this weekend? I know that they're, have a hand in the matchmaking for the undercard, but how does that affect sort of your contract with the organization, the NAAFS, that is?
I'm really not sure how that affects it, but the NAAFS does a real good job of helping fighters out. So, even if, the UFC call it or a bigger organization than them call it, they let you get out of that contract and fight for them guys because obviously it's a bigger show. And they let you take other fights as long as you're not, you're going to disobey their contract by any means. So, it wasn't really a big deal. Bellator called and, like I said, like you said, they're helping them out, so they were pretty cool about me getting on the card. So, the NAAFS, under their contract, they let big companies slide in and pick you up. Jason Dent, Donnie Walker, both are champions, and they've currently fought in the UFC.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your fight with Frank Caraballo. Obviously, Frank is a former NAAFS Pro lightweight champ and dropped down to 145 in his last fight. And now he'll be at 145 in this fight with you. How do you see yourself matching up with a guy like Frank on Saturday?
I think our styles are good. He's kind of a striker. I prefer. I can strike with anybody at the 145-pound weight class in the NAF, I believe. But I think I'm leaps and bounds over the ground with ground game with him. My wrestling and stuff is leaps and bounds over him, so I think I match up good with him.
Right, and I know that you're kind of a pretty well-rounded fighter. Do you have a game plan going into this fight? And I know that you like to strike and you're also good on the ground. Do you have a game plan going in against Frank?
Not really. I kind of have a little idea what Terry and I have worked with. Really don't want to say too much right now. But we have a good game plan, I think, and then, we're just going to kind of take it as it comes, too.
Right, and another thing, looking at your record, you have 10 pro fights, and none of those pro fights have ever made it to a decision, whether you win or lose, whether you win by knockout or submission. Is that something that you really take pride in, is the fact that you there's really no use for the judges in any of your pro fights?
Yeah, I've never been to a decision, pro or amateur. My thing is I go out there and I try to put on a show for the fans, and I don't like it going to the judges. I've seen my friends who I think got, hosed on decisions. I've seen people that wasn't my friends get hosed on decisions, so I don't want to sit there and have to explain to people I won the fight, but I lost the decision.
Mm-hmm.
That just seems like too much work for me.
And is that something that, you being known as a guy who finishes and, either way, win or lose, never, makes it to the judges, has that helped you in sort of contract negotiation, or at least, with being able to get it, being able to get fights and find fights, because promoters and fans know that you're going to be an exciting fighter?
I've never had that really anybody come up and told me that, but it might have helped. I have no idea. I don't know.
All right, so obviously both you and Frank are in the NAAFS 145-pound weight division, and this almost seems like sort of a title eliminator. I know that Donnie is the current NAAFS 145 champ, but he actually moved down to 135 and is in the UFC. Is this a fight that you're looking at that maybe is going to put you right into that possibly a title fight if you do continue to fight with NAFs, or is that something that you're what are your thoughts on that?
Right now, I was informed about 2 weeks ago that this is a title fight. It's like a co-promotion. NAFs and Bellator is like a co-promotion. So Frank and I are fighting for the title, the NAFs interim 45-pound title on that Saturday. So.
Okay, so with that in mind, is that I know that you actually fought, and I believe they had a tournament last year, and I know that you lost to Donnie. Is that a fight that maybe if you win this fight that you'd like to have a return fight?
Yeah, if that's what the NAFs want, then once I'm the champion, I'll fight whoever's in line. If Donnie comes back from the UFC, obviously he's the real champion, so that's the fight that we'll have to do is determine the real NAFs 45-pound champion.
Okay. Another question I want to ask you. This is your first fight here in about 10 months, and I know you'd stayed pretty busy before then. Was there a reason why you took sort of not a huge layoff, but sort of a layoff of almost a year heading into this fight?
Yeah. I actually had surgery on my left knee. They had to remove some bone fragments and repair some tendons and stuff. So.
Okay, and so heading into this fight, you're 100% going into this fight?
Yeah, I took everything. I got my knee reevaluated by the doctor that did the surgery, and another doctor just to make sure everything was good, and it had extra MRI, so everything's good. I'm 100% healthy. I've released to go back to training.
Okay.
So,
and on Sunday, obviously, being that you're fighting for Bellator, there are going to be a lot more eyes on you than that maybe have never seen you before. What are those people going to be saying after they see you fight on Saturday? This Sunday, what are those people going to be saying about Dustin Kempf?
I'm hoping when those guys see me Saturday, they're already having my contract drawn up so I can sign a bigger contract with Bellator.
Great, man. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know that's definitely something that a lot of the fighters on this, you have your chance to go out there and prove that you're worthy to fight in an organization like Bellator. So it's a really great opportunity. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. I feel like I can compete with the top 10 at 145 pounds in the world. I really believe I'll bring the fight to whoever whoever wants to fight. I'll step up and I'll fight them.
All right, and last but not least, any sponsors? Anybody you want to thank before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to thank Terry Blackwell and Team Instigator, Victor Martial Arts, Robert Neese, Brian Cato, all from Main Street MMA, Team Impact, and some sponsors: Intimidation Clothing, True Fashion Fight Gear, CoffeeHero.com, Jimmy's Backyard Barbecue, Aaron's Rental Supply and Furniture. All my sponsors help me get ready for this fight, and so I'm just going to go out there Saturday and perform.
All right, man. That's all I have for you tonight. Thanks for joining me, and good luck on Saturday.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Yep.